Hi guys, and welcome again to another webinar with Trevor Lawson, our Victorian analyst. And today we're going to be previewing we've just been talking about it, the K-Clean Zipping Classic from Sandown. Trev, how are you?
I'm good, Dan, I'm good.
You reckon I got that right? K-Clean? Clay-Clean?
Yeah, or the K-Clean. Yeah, I'm not sure.
K-Clean. How are you anyway?
Good, yeah, I'm good. Let's
Mate,
just hope we're back in the middle of
it. Looks an interesting race with a number of chances. We've got the Taj Mahal at the moment, head of the betting at about $4.20. Interested to get your thoughts.
Yeah, no, it's a good-looking race. Small field. I think the Taj Mahal's the defending champion. I think he won the race last year. It's named after Lloyd Williams's good horse Zipping, who won the Sandown Classic. I think he might have won it 4 years in a row. And Lloyd's got two runners here, the Taj Mahal and Sir Isaac Newton.
Absolutely. And again, guys, before we start the webinar, again, as you can see on the screen there, our Melbourne ratings package, you can take a 1-day package, 4 Saturday package, 1 month, 3 months, or 12-month subscription. The package has been in existence with us over a number of years and has performed very well. Trev, I'm going to throw over to you. We'll transfer screens and you can take it away.
Okay, thanks. So that's it. You can see mine now. Oh, here we go. Okay. That should be right now.
No worries.
So here's the field here. It's only a field of 8. Who Shot the Barman, Ventura Storm, Libren, Taj Mahal, Sir Isaac Newton, Lord Fandango, Del Harold, and Our Libretto, the mare. The speed map is, I was thinking the Taj Mahal will push forward. He tried to push forward the other day from the wide barrier in the Moon Valley Cup and was caught wide. Pretty sure he led all the way in this race last year. Del Harold will roll forward as well. Ventura Storm's drawn the widest barrier. I thought he would try and push forward as well. So Libren normally takes a sit. Lord Fandango used to go forward, but they get a bit worried about it pulling, so they normally take a sit. Sir Isaac Newton's a stable mate to Taj Mahal. I've got him sort of midfield, but they may do something silly with it. And then Who Shot the Barman and Our Libretto, they'll take a sit, basically sit back on the inside. The field, so Who Shot the Barman? He's a 10-year-old now. He won the Sydney Cup in April. Last year he ran in the Moon Valley Cup and then didn't go to the Melbourne Cup and sort of was spelled afterwards. This prep he went to the Melbourne Cup and he's still going. Earlier this year he's a 65, 66 horse, but he sort of come back from a spell. He ran solidly in the Moonee Valley Cup, going 60.5. He found the Cup distance, Melbourne Cup distance, a bit too far. He's 10 years old now. That's his best run this prep so far. I've just put him in at that figure of 60.5. Ventura Storm, he ran well in the Turnbull in October over 2000 at Flemington. He then ran well again in the Moonee Valley Cup, producing the same figure. And in the Melbourne Cup, he wasn't too bad. He was there till about the 300. He was in sort of 3 lengths of the lead, and then he just tired the last bit. Didn't run the 3200. I thought he could sort of hold his rating here of 62.5, so I put him in at 62.5. Libren is a pretty consistent horse. can see he sort of did 61.5 in the Metrop, did 61.5 at Moonee Valley Cup. Then last start, he rated just slightly below, but as you can see here in the comments, he copped a very heavy bump at the 300, and it took him a bit of time to balance up, and he sort of was making ground late, so there's every chance he sort of would have done his figure of 61.5. He's a pretty consistent type stayer, so I put him in at that figure of 61.5. The Taj Mahal, last year he came here from Europe and he ran well back first up in the Caulfield Stakes, then ran fourth in the Turnbull, fourth in the McKinnon, and then won this race on the back up, leading all the way. He had one run in the autumn, which is Lloyd's Way, and then I think he's probably set him for the Cups, but he missed some runs along the way. He won the JRA Cup, I think it's called still, on grand final eve. Then in the Caulfield Cup, he was set of a bit of a task. He sort of sat back and wide, and then he took off and went for home at the 800. And then the Moonee Valley Cup, he drew barrier 14 here. He pushed forward and got caught wide, and you can see here they went sort of 16 lengths quicker than the average for that distance. So they went very fast in a fast run race where they ran 4.4. This 44 represents 4.4 seconds quicker than the average time for that distance. So it was a fast run race. He was 3 wide up on the speed, so he's entitled to tyre. I just left him in at the figure that he did at Moonee Valley. He sort of has a reasonable record here. So I was happy to leave him in at the 63.5. Sir Isaac Newton, got a theory with their horses. The ones that have had extremely long breaks tend to have had issues, and sort of happy to oppose them. This horse resumed off 330-day spell, rated 58.5. He's then rated down the next start, rated sort of around that figure, and then last start he pulled too hard last week. He's on the quick back up here, but at his best he can do the 58.5. I would have thought after such a long spell, so I put him in at the 58.5. Lord Fandango, he's had 3 runs back. He was a late scratching from last week over the 2600. So he was due to go a week ago. He ran okay last start, the Bendigo Cup, working home okay. He has gone better a couple of times, but one was 2 preps to go and one was sort of last prep, and he was still well beaten. He goes from Damien Lane back to Johnny Allen, which leaves, it gives, isn't a big difference, but he had blinkers off the other day. I'm just happy to leave him in that figure. As I say, it's sort of it's over 12 months since he's won. He's had a few issues. Del Harold, he worked home okay at Caulfield, first up, making, sort of improved from the 104th 800 to the 28th best last 200 of the day, so he's making good ground. They did the same thing in the Bendigo Cup. He went from the 68th to the 26th 200, so he's sort of means he's sort of making ground through each of the final 200s. I've just left him at that figure of 62. And then the mare Our Libretto, we're on live TV here. Our Libretto, she won her first 4 starts since coming from New Zealand. She won a maiden, producing figures of 54, which is okay, but not great, 54. She won at Cranbourne. She beat Lobataga, who's bled for the second time since, Pleasuring, who's been slightly disappointing, and sort of just other mares. She ran good sectionals that night, but nothing startling. She went to Flemington. I put her in at 57 that day. She did 57 and a half. The market thought she'd do 58, according to the price that she ran. It was a slowly run race, and a pretty bunch finish. 8th, only got beat 1.7 lengths. She ran the second quickest 600 of the day. So she ran sort of level with Canendra. She ran the quickest 400 of the day and then the 6th quickest. So she sort of held her ground on the straight to the winner. She ran the same splits as the winner and was beaten 1.3. And now she jumps to 2,400 for the first time. So I just didn't think she'd really improve off that run last start, and I was happy to leave her at the figure, which had a long odds. If I improved her 1 length, I sort of could get her $14, but I was sort of happy just leaving her where she was at $41. So on the market, sort of have the Taj Mahal, $3.70, Ventura Storm about $5.50, Libran sort of $8.50, and Del Ranald about sort of $6.50 to $7. We go to the market. Ventura Storm is sort of $6.57, so he's a slide over. Libran is a slide under. The Taj Mahal is a slide over. He's a bit of 420 around. Lord Fandango is slide unders. Del Ranald is slide unders, and Our Libretto is big unders to me. It's $5. And I still got a 41. Even if I stepped it, I still only get it $14. So it doesn't matter whatever I do to it. I couldn't get anywhere near $5. So happy to leave it what price it is and have the percentage in the others. And on that market, it's a race I'm sort of happy to back the Taj Mahal and Ventura Storm.
Trev, again, thank you very much. Another fascinating look at what will be a very interesting race. Let's hope.
Yes.
Will McAvoy bring his A game on this one? He's been up and down over the Spring Carnival, hasn't he? He's had some absolute blinders and some absolute shockers.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that's, they all sort of have, they're all in and out a bit. The idea is to try and catch them when they're in. and oppose them when they're out. And oppose them when they're out. Excuse me. But yes, he sort of caught us last week with not the greatest ride I've ever seen on manual, but with all ordinary lucks comes good luck. So hopefully we're due for a good run.
Absolutely. Thanks again for your time. Guys, please don't hesitate to get in touch. We've got some fantastic offers at the moment. 1300 500 057, or alternatively email us at team@championbets.com.au. Thanks, Trev.
Great. Thanks, Daniel. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Bye.